Welcome to the show again. Thanks very much for joining us. Today again, we have Igor Sashkin. I interviewed Igor once in the past about his Shopping Cart Elite product. Igor is the CEO of Shopping Cart Elite. And we have Igor again in the interview. This time we're talking about search engine optimization. Thanks again for joining us in this Skype interview.
Sure, thanks.
Now, you had mentioned to me in the past that the idea of search engine optimization, or SEO, among the shopping cart community, that you have a very large network of SEO connections. Tell us a little bit about that.
So what we do is it was kind of an accidental business that we got into. We never planned to be in this business. When we started Shopping Cart Elite, we kind of knew, that we will need to help our clients on the off-site marketing, specifically in link building. And what we started doing is we started building external sites, shopping comparison sites, review sites, and stuff like that. And over the years, we built such a huge amount of them that, if you didn't know already, the only way to rank in Google, there's a bunch of on-site SEO that you need to do with optimization, your titles and stuff like that, meta tags. But links plays a huge role. And we have a huge network of sites that we use to help our clients build those backlinks and, help them rank on the first page of Google.
So I'm a brand new website and I want to rank well on Google for my keywords. How much is it going to cost, and how do you determine all this information and make this work?
Well, first, you need to understand how the links work. I'm going to just kind of really, briefly run through it. On the slide here, if you have it open.
Yep, here we go.
I have a difference showing between what's a raw backlink and an anchor link. So the raw link is your website name, which is www.yourdomain.com, and an anchor link is the words that are on top of that link. And when you click on it, it still goes to your website, but it has keywords instead of just a link. So this is called an anchor link. So the way this works is, links are like your business cards, except it's online. And the backlink specifically, it's like a popularity contest. So the more links you have, the more votes you have, and that's how you kind of, get up on the first page of Google. So with enough votes, aka links, this kind of sets your position or your location of your business online, and links is what makes you rank on the first page of Google. If you do enough of them, you'll be number one. And obviously, once you're there, you're getting a ton of traffic. So the way you determine the whole thing. I have this other slides showing you an image illustration.
Can you explain to this in simple English?
Yeah. Google is asking the question, who has the best prices? And you as a brand new client, you just kind of came in the game, and you do have the better prices than this other guy. You truly do. You're trying to beat the market by having a lower profit, and anyway. So you're saying me to Google, but all of these other people around your competitor, they're pointing at him. So guess who Google is going to choose to rank? Basically, Google is saying, if all of these people are saying that this guy has the best prices, then I'm going to believe all these people. And you're kind of left in the background wondering, I actually have the best prices and he doesn't. How does this work? So all of these people represent, all of these people who are pointing their finger to this competitor, they represent links, and the competitor is your competitor's website, and it's your website, and that's how Google treats the links. Now, the relevancy between, if you look on slide 4, the relevancy between how many links you get versus your Google position and how many visitors you get, you can see for yourself that the more links you get, you eventually get to the number one position. And if you chose the right word, you'll obviously get a lot of traffic. And
No, Igor.
the way I determine
Yeah, go ahead.
the way I determine how much it's going to cost, it's how many links do you need. So if you're starting from zero and your competitor has, 10,000 because he's been in business for 10 years and you're just starting out today, and you expect to be where, the competitor took 10 years to get to, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If there's, if you chose a niche which is not very competitive, maybe the number one guy doesn't even have a lot of links. Specifically, in Google.com, which is US, it's very competitive for most markets. I mean, there are a few markets that are not, but if you look at international markets, like even Canada or Australia or, UK is kind of competitive, but those two specifically, they're not as competitive at all. It's they're just kind of starting out where Google.com was starting out. So depending where you are and what country you're in, and depending what niche you have chosen to do your business in, it varies on the cost. So we just basically charge you per link, depending the quality of link that you need, and we just calculate the number of links that you will need to suppress your competitor, and that's how much it's going to end up costing.
So how do you rank the whole website and not just the homepage?
Right, that's a good question. So when you do a lot of links, obviously you're linking to your homepage, and your homepage is going to end up getting ranked. So how do you rank all of the other pages? And if you look at my slide 5, I show you a little chart here, which shows you, I call this a Google authority circle. So the way this works is when you first start out, you have 0 links, which is like 0 votes. And as you build your links, slowly as you build them, you're getting closer and closer to the circle. Now, let's say that the keyword that you've been trying to rank for is, let's say, the word wheels, right? And as you're coming closer and closer to the circle, your homepage ends up ranking, but none of your other pages. Now, once you're inside the circle, where Google treats you as an authority website, and they trust, your website because they have so many links, and, in my illustration earlier, there's so many people pointing at you. Any other web page that you will have on your website with a word wheels or whatever the word you were ranking for, you will end up ranking as well. So, of course, there's a lot of more factors in place, such as, title optimization and meta tags and stuff like that. But if you only focus on titles and meta tags and on-site content, you probably will never rank for really competitive keywords. You'll rank for long tail keywords, but if you want to rank for really competitive keywords, you need to do links, which is why I always say that you should do links first, and as the links are being worked on, you can do your content. You don't do content first and then do links later, because it's just counterproductive. The links can give you results immediately, while content will give you results only if the links are done. And once you're inside the circle, now you're an authority website. Now all of your pages rank. Now, how well will they rank? It depends on your industry and how many other authority websites are in there. So in wheels, if you rank for the word wheels, you might have 10 guys that are already authority with 50,000 links, and you're only at 2,500. So yeah, you'll rank, but you're not going to be on page 1. You'll be on page 2, number 11. And so again, this has to be researched on how many links you need to do to rank your whole website, but that's how it would work.
What about on-site SEO content, titles, information, tags, metadata? How important is all that stuff?
I mean, it's important. For other search engines like, Bing, which also powers Yahoo, it's extremely important. It's actually important. I mean, the title is very important. You have to choose the right keywords, and they have to be in your title. Meta tags are important. And, Google preaches unique content. Obviously they're looking for that. If you have unique content, you definitely have a good chance of ranking very well. So if you can't do one and not the other, right? So you have to do links, no question about it, and you have to do the content. Now, there are ways around the content, but there is no ways around the titles and the meta tags. Like, those have to be perfect, and they have to contain all of the keywords that you want to rank. Like, I have a lesson inside Shopping Cart Elite called Understanding Anchor Text, which teaches you how to research the word and put it all together into a title, triggering every single word that people can search for. And if you do links to that page as well, you'll get amazing results. So I would say it's equally important, but links obviously are a lot more important, because I can actually rank anybody with links. And if I don't have links, it's very questionable if I can rank anybody for just the content. If it's a competitive word, forget it. I'm never going to rank anybody without links. So it's important for you to do both links and content, because it's not going to work one without the other. But links is more powerful than content, because you can still get the results with links. Just because you do content, you might not get any kind of results with content only. But if you do both, you'll get really good results. So I recommend you do stick to both, but links should get a higher priority over content.
So, okay, so then there's the other option, which is just to buy a bunch of links. Like you go to something like Fiverr and pick up 20,000 links. Will that work? Will that do the job?
Right. So, we didn't discuss like the advanced stuff about the links. So the way the links work, there's a few factors to consider. First of all, you can have a link which does nothing to your ranking or to your website. You can have one link that does like just everything to you. So the links that you'll get on Fiverr are either very poor quality, or they don't have they have a Nofollow tag, which means they don't actually pass any kind of ranking to you. So you can use Fiverr for different things, like those 20,000 links for $5, such as trying to index your website. In other words, like let's say there's certain pages that are not even a part of Google for whatever reason, and you want to just kind of give it the edge to get into Google. You can take a bunch of your URLs, like hundreds or whatever, thousands of your URLs from the sitemap, and submit it through one of those Fiverr gigs. But if you're trying to rank, it's not going to work. Plus, you have, if you're going to start 20,000 links just out of nowhere for a certain keyword, you're going to get like penalized for it immediately, because you're not allowed to do that. It has to be, again, each case is different. I don't want to, go into how to do it, but basically it has to be a viral campaign, which means it has to slowly start and kind of snowball into it. And Fiverr is not going to do that. So I would say stay away from Fiverr as far as doing those crazy amount of backlinks. You could definitely find some cool gigs on Fiverr, so you can try those out, like, do one link or two links, something like that. But if you're doing like 20,000, I mean, be prepared for the consequences, because Google specifically tells you not to do that.
Yeah, you need the quality backlinks that's relevant. What about other services like article networks, directories, eZine, stuff like that?
Yeah, those are. I mean, again, same thing. Some are good, some are not. But you also have to consider the difference between a unique domain backlink versus just a backlink. So to give you an example, eZine, right? It's a single domain name. So you can have 100,000 links coming from eZine, but it's not the same as having 100,000 websites give you 100,000 links.
Yep.
What Google is looking for is not just how many links coming from one website. They're looking to see how many different unique websites and different IPs and just different IP blocks and networks that are sending you the link. So that's what they look for. They look at the unique referring domain versus just the backlink. I mean, as you do more and more backlinks from the same domain, it gets degraded over time. Like, one gives you the full score, and then the second one gives you half, and then the third one gives you a quarter. And as you keep moving forward, eventually it zeroes out, and they don't pass you any kind of score anymore. Versus doing it with a unique domain every time, it gives you that full score, and just kind of roll with that.
Okay.
So basically, to answer your question, article networks, yes, it's good, but I would do maybe like 2 submissions into them and just be done with it. I wouldn't continue, doing month after month after month, because you're not going to get anywhere by repeating that process. You will get some results, depending how much work you do initially, maybe in the first 2-3 months, but after that, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of results from that.
Yeah. So All right, now, Igor, what can you do for me? Like, if I'm the customer, what's your offering here?
So we have that network that I initially, in the beginning of the interview that I told you about, and we have thousands of sites. So specifically, it's like over 20,000. And those are all unique domain links that we can send to you. Obviously, we can send, 2 or 3 from the same domain over time, and you'll get like a lot more. But we have viral backlinks. So in other words, we can make a viral campaign where Google is not going to penalize you for having too many links at the same time. All the links will be follow links, so they all pass the rank. We can ensure that you can catch up to your competitor. So in other words, if your competitor has been in the business for 10 years and he has 5,000 links, we can do 7,000 links and beat him out of the water. And, he won't even know what hit him because he's been, the king of the hill the whole time. All of a sudden, 2 months go by and you're above him. And we've done it already. So, it works. And if you already have links, because some clients do have links, because they did an SEO campaign before with someone else, it didn't work out too well. But whatever the case is, if you have links, we can complement those links. So we can see what you have so far. We use a few different tools to, see what you have, and we can create a campaign specifically to complement that and kind of give you that edge. And those work really well because we have a few clients that came to us, were not happy with their previous results for SEO, and we saw what they had. We did a very small campaign for them, and it just kind of gave them that edge, and they just exploded. They went from 4,000 unique visitors to 30,000 unique visitors in a month just because we gave them that little edge. So as a new client, I mean, we can definitely help you wherever whatever stage you're in. We can help you with your organic SEO link building.
So what's the magic number? Like, how much traffic do I need to consider it a success?
Are you talking about
employee,
traffic-wise?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Well, here's the thing. It also varies on what kind of industry you're in and niche and just all that kind of stuff. But typically, I would say you need about, this is a per employee basis, because you can have a huge company. You can have a company with millions of links and it's a huge company. But per employee basis, which means how can you fill up an 8 or 10-hour workday for each employee, which, the way I determine that is how much traffic needs to come into your website with a certain conversion number, and what that conversion number will do as far as, so how many people will call the business, how many people will email the business, how many people will submit an order, so the employee has to go and process those orders and ship them and stuff like that. So the magic number is this. It's between 5,000 and 20,000 unique visitors have to come into your website each month in order to fill up an 8-hour workday for an employee. It could be, you can be your own employee, so it would be you getting filled up for yourself. But if you want to grow, let's say you're there now, let's say you are there, you're at 20,000 and you want to grow, you want to take your company next step, you need to get another 20,000. So you might need to get a part-time employee to help you out while you grow that portion of the business. If you're starting from scratch, then we just need to determine your niche or your industry and see where your competitors are, and then basically try to beat them and get to that number of visitors. So once you hit that number of visitors, you're making money, and you'll be happy, and the investment will pay for itself.
Well, you give me 20,000 new followers, and I'll be pretty busy, so I can appreciate that.
Right.
Can you give us? How about you give us, the audience, some idea? I mean, they've been listening to a lot of your features and a lot of your specialties, but can you give them some free tips here on how they can take advantage of the SEO, take maybe one step above their competition?
Sure. Few tips. So I'll give you a few. One of them, for example, I mentioned Fiverr earlier. One of the things that you can do and actually do a lot of links without having Google penalize you or flag you, for having too many links at one time would be to link to your website without a keyword. So in other words, you would link to your website with your exact URL or to a specific. In other words, you would use a URL to rank for the keyword or your company name. Let's say your company name is, I don't know, bobsshop.com. So the anchor link would be Bob's Shop.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Google doesn't look at and doesn't penalize you for is if you have the word like click here or buy here or your URL or stuff like that, you can actually get away. Again, I don't know, it changes all the time. So, maybe by the time you watch this video, it's not going to work already. But right now, today it works. If you do that, you'll actually, you can get some authority for your domain, especially if you're brand new. It really helps out. Build up that authority so you don't have to waste money on quality links, and you can kind of just, get that done through Fiverr. One thing you have to watch out in Fiverr, though, is the no-follow links. Like, you really have to pick out the right guy who can submit that for you where they actually have the follow links, because no-follow, they don't really do much for you. And
it's just a loose end then, basically.
Right.
So if I can just recap, sir, you're saying basically you want to send that traffic to an information site, not a call to action site. Is that correct?
Actually, it could be any site, as long as you're not trying to rank that site for a specific keyword.
Gotcha.
So as long as, one of the things you want to do is build authority. Remember that authority circle that Google has with a lot of people pointing to you. So what Google does is, because you don't have a specific link that you want to, the specific word you want to rank for, what they do is they look at your title at that point and value your title a lot more than before, because you have so many links pointing to it.
Gotcha.
So another idea would be to do that to a product page, and just straight URL. Don't even put a keyword in. Just keep doing it to the URL, and eventually Google will pick up the authority, and they'll count your page as an authority website or authority web page, even though you don't have a specific keyword that you would try to rank for.
Gotcha.
I don't recommend doing too many of those, because you actually might end up ranking for some really weird stuff that will not give you any kind of conversions. Yeah. But like, to get the edge, you can definitely do that.
And you got to be careful of the black hat stuff, obviously. And you kind of go into the dark side if you play around too much in that, and then you get blacklisted. That's a bad thing.
Right. There's a few other tips that I can give you. I mean, there's one of the things I recently found was to rank on Bing, which completely shocked me. That it seems like Bing, whoever did that algorithm, completely either missed or ignored e-commerce websites. Like, they were focusing on information sites, like just review sites and comparison sites, and information sites. So the Bing really likes exact keyword domain name. They really like titles to be really optimized, meta tags really optimized, and your body content to be really good. They also like when you have the word article in your URL. They just love that. And one trick that I found was, if there's two ways of doing it. So one way would be to create just custom domains specifically for a very popular keyword and rank it the way I just said it. Or what you can do is you can do a subdomain targeting a keyword that you want to rank for, and actually just have a custom page in that subdomain linking back to your main site. And I actually tested it, and it works. And it's pretty amazing that it's that easy to rank. And once you rank in Bing, you rank in Yahoo. I did do some links, though. Like, I didn't do a lot, but those were like completely spam links. We're talking about like Fiverr type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like pay $10 to Fiverr to send those spammy links to that URL on the subdomain. Have a subdomain, which apparently they treat the word in the subdomain as heavily as the main domain for some reason. Have good titles, good meta tags, good article that you custom, you wrote yourself, even though you don't have to. I saw a bunch of people have like complete spam for an article, and you'll do really well in Bing. It's a lot of work to do, but if you chose the right word, I mean, you can definitely take advantage of that.
Well, Igor, those are great tips, and you're giving away a lot of that good stuff for free. And I actually lured you into giving us a little more information that you probably should have. But anyways, I appreciate that. And Igor, give us some more of this. Where do you get more of this information? How can somebody engage you if they want a little bit of your secret sauce?
Well, I mean, obviously, you can become a shopping cart lead client. I share that all the time through newsletters and announcements. If you don't want any BS and you just want to get what you need to do to get a result, and you're a big enough client, you can of course hire me as a consultant for whatever amount of hours you need. My blog is a good resource, igorsashkin.com. Mm-hmm. I definitely post not everything, but whatever I think can make a big impact for my clients. I usually publicly post it, and you can definitely find some good stuff there. And finally, I have a paid newsletter that you can subscribe to annually, and every quarter I kind of compile all of the secrets that I have, new ones specifically, and every quarter I send out a newsletter to my subscribers and just letting them know what they can do and different kinds of stuff. It's a really good newsletter, so you can subscribe to that and just get that.
Well, that's great, Igor, and it sounds to me like you have a give forward mentality when it comes to building business, and we all appreciate that. That giving quality in your business culture. Thanks.
Sure thing.
Thanks very much for joining us. Again, you can check out Shopping Cart Elite. I'm sure you can Google them, and you'll find them pretty quick. Thanks again for joining the interview, and we hope to have you on again real soon, Igor.
Sure. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.